Mhm. Games. Board games, board games. We might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing, and today I'm answering questions which might be relevant to my situation. I'm making games and I'm making them again. And there's some questions and I'll answer all of them. Board games, questions is what I'm talking about. Board game questions and I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I am Bez and this is 10 a.m.ish UK time. Time for Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether. And what am I up to today? Today, I'm basically answering questions. I asked some people on Twitter, on my Facebook, on the um, Kickstarter, the latest Kickstarter that I've got going. Actually, I should share a wee link to that. But yeah, in all of these places, I've asked people, hey, do you want to ask me questions about, as long as they're respectful, I'm going to answer them. Anything that's about myself, games in general, or game design, or whatever. So, first of all, as usual, I'll talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. Yesterday, I managed to get the passports, read through enough to book the appointment on the 8th of September, I think it is. I'm going to go and get my passport sorted out. I'm going to get new things so that I can hopefully get myself to Germany for Essen Spiel, for the big convention that's happening. And my hope is that I'll be able to meet up with a bunch of publishers and show off my games to those publishers, hopefully pitch something. And of course, Spiel is just such a great place to connect, but also it'll be my first time there without a stand, so I will actually just be able to wander around. And so having a passport will actually enable me to go, which is fantastic. Good morning, Ian. I hope that you're generally well. And yeah, that's other than that, I did a bit of laundry, preparing for Tabletop Scotland. Yeah, it's just a couple of days convention, so I don't need loads of clothes. But yeah, I'm not feeling great. I'm going to say I'm honestly feeling a bit down generally about like the clutter and kind of just everything just feels insurmountable right now. My mood is not great. And so, I mean, I'm sure that when I get to Tabletop Scotland, being surrounded by everyone, I'll be, high again. But, I do apologize if I'm not I'm not going to be 100% of myself. But anyway, let's crack on and let's get to brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Passports. I mean, I'm not sure if the system of passports and identification, like why that's necessary, or like whether it is necessarily a brilliant thing, but given the world that we live in, I mean, the ability to go from country to country is amazing, like traveling around, seeing new things. And so the brilliant thing here, I guess, is really the opportunities that offers, being able to travel. Yeah, traveling internationally is a brilliant thing. If you've only stayed in your own country all your life, you are going to, sorry to say, have a more limited experience and potentially even be more close-minded, and someone who's really seen other people, spent time with other people, and actually empathized with other people around the world. So yeah, traveling is fantastic. Ian, I look forward to seeing you, and hopefully we can do the elbow dance. Let it's right, left, jazz hands in case you forgot. And I hope that, yeah, it will perk us both up. Hello, Jay Guard. It is lovely to see you, and thank you for joining me. Now, let's crack on to the Questionably Quick Questions is the next section. It's not an interrogation, it's just the Questionably Quick Questions section. First, yes, J. Guard, travelling is fantastic. And Robert, thank you for that. Also excited for Tabletop Scotland. Don't worry if you're not always yourself. No one has to be on all the time. Yeah, it's not that I'm too worried about the way I present myself. It's honestly right now, like, just I'm struggling to get stuff done. That is the issue. Like, right now, I'm feeling like, how can I put this? It's just taking me an amount of effort and an amount of work, and things just sound almost insurmountable at times. Just, yeah, today, my whole thing is just, yeah, frankly, if I manage to get stuff posted, that is all I'm trying to do today. Yesterday, I did the bare minimum with, and then tomorrow, like in the morning before I leave, I can pack and stuff for Tabletop Scotland. But it's just like everything. It's just like, I know this is going to take me the whole day, and it's just like going to be raw. Yeah, it doesn't leave me time to kind of be like, yeah, I've done the thing. Now I can relax, because I've never done the thing, and it's just a thing that keeps going. It's just, anyway. But yes, this is the whole topic. If you want to ask any questionably quick questions, then go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to answer things from Twitter and whatnot. So let's start off with a question from, I get to overload of things from September the 1st. I'm going to start experimenting with bullet journaling and see if that helps me focus and getting things done. Like, even if I'm like, this is my one thing for today, still struggle. I'm not sure that that's, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. So this is a question from Dave Dawkins, who asks, have you ever considered employing other artists to work on your games? So for those who don't know, all the published games so far with my name on them have, like, Yogi was done by Simon Caruso. I mean, I designed the rules and came up with all the text on the cards, except that he translated it into French and the other languages and translated it back into English. So technically, I didn't even write the cards, because they translated it to French. Anyway, that aside, Yogi has already had Simon Caruso's work on. Sees the Power, like, if Inside the Box were to publish that, it would not be with my artwork. And similarly, I think it's now called Wheel of Death or Circle of Doom, or not quite sure. A two-player kind of abstract game from Surprise Terror Games is going to come with another artist. But I think what Dave is asking is, would I do it for my own self-published games? And I'm going to say yes, absolutely, but only for the L deck. And let's see if I can actually find some images on Twitter very quickly. Couple. So, for my own games, it just feels faster to do it myself. For my own games, it just feels like I know what I want, and so let's do the thing. Let's spend a bit of time drawing it, and let's get it out there, and hopefully people will enjoy it. And I believe that that probably helps the game, because, like, people know that it's all about me. But then at the same time, why can't I get a couple up? Let's try on Board Game Arena. That might work. So Miles Atkinson is someone who did do all the... There we go. So this is Couple, and you can't see it too well here, but all these letter shapes are drawn by Miles. So all of these letter shapes are drawn by Miles, and I will hopefully have a deck that looks like this with this lovely nature-themed cards in the near future. And there's also been some Grabble cards, which have been done by Chris with art direction from me. I mean, to be fair, this also had art direction from me. But with the L deck, I want to see a future where people go into a shop and there's like 10 different versions. And yeah, people all say, oh, wow, there's this one which is like, looks like graffiti style lettering. There's this one which looks like, I don't know, nature style lettering. There's this one which is all a collage, and there's this one which looks like more childlike painterly lettering, and this one is the original like typeface, which is maybe the most accessible, whatever. And I would love other artists to come and join. And honestly, the typography contest was part of that, kind of like an audition. People don't need to present necessarily a brand new typeface. And so if you've got a typeface that you're working on, like just chuck it in. And I'd love to have more entries for next year. So yes, I would consider, well, have I ever considered, but have you ever seriously considered is a separate question. But I would absolutely love more artists to get involved in the L deck. For my own games, it's probably not worth the cost because I can do it myself. And if one day someone wanted to do something, if an artist wanted to team up for a game about surreal, scandalous creatures and trying to identify them after some makes noises, maybe they want to make a bunch of creatures themselves, and then we kind of work together and there's a sort of profit sharing. I've actually also reached out to an artist for Drawn Together, which is a competitive strategic coloring in-game. I guess fundamentally, if I'm going to do that, people need to be bringing something that I'm not bringing to the project. I need to feel like the project is definitely improved by their presence, and frankly, there needs to be a potential that it's going to lead to more profit because, otherwise, unless it's an artist that I'm just like super excited to work with, why am I doing it? Okay, so I hope that answers the question, Dave. We've got another question from Russ for Chits and Giggles, and I'm just going to show this. Ross asks, here's a silly one. Would you prefer to remain in the world? What would you prefer to remain in the world if the other was eliminated forever? Balloon animals or extravagant hats? So I've got to decide to send one of these two things to room 101 forever. So which one is going to be gone? I have to admit, I haven't engaged with either of these things too much. And so it is going to really come down to a consideration from my perspective of which gives more joy to others. And if I had to make the joy right now, within the next 5 seconds, balloon animals stay. Because I just feel like there's more kids potentially can appreciate them. It feels so. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, now here's a really interesting question from D. Allen. This is going to take me a bit of time to answer, which is, what would you most like to do that you don't have enough time for? Now, this is an interesting question. And like, there's so many things that I would love to do. Of course, over the past few years and right now, I am prioritizing making games, and then I'm prioritizing kind of playing through stuff and getting rid of stuff and just almost trying to sort out my space and staying afloat is a decent way to put it. Things that I would love to do more of involve exercise generally, getting outside, walking around, walking to the park, maybe doing more LARPs, more RPGs, more things that aren't board games, because I love a lot of other games, maybe even trying more sports. Yeah, I'd love to go over and check out those people and say, hey, will you have me trying to do more dancing. And it's not, do I have time for it? It's also, do I make time for it? Yeah, the dancing and the music, I'd love to just sit down and improvise. And I could improvise, music for a couple of hours. And maybe that's something that I'd like to do on a stream occasionally. And what I think the biggest thing, when I look forward to the time that I go to, like next year, I'm going to slightly slow down my game production, but I'm going to be trying to focus on just arranging things to get out of the country. Once I'm really relocated to Thailand, the thing that I'm most looking forward to is just having that time to make that discovery for myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that I enjoy games. I know that I enjoy music. And actually, in the past, I enjoyed improv acting. And I enjoy talking to people. I would like space to simply be, to draw, to read comics. And yeah, that's something that I would really love to make time for. J. Foolsguard says, speaking of tabletop RPGs, are you thinking of going to festival in the spring? No, but when is it? Can you tell me the dates? And I will put it in my calendar right now, because I'm trying to arrange my calendar for next year so that I go to all the conventions before I leave the country. So yes, I think it's a couple of weeks after Aircon, but remind me when it is and I will get it in the calendar. Yeah, so festival is something that I originally wanted to go to with Seize the Power. I think 2019 we submitted that to the show. 2020, yeah, was it only 2019? Wow. Oh my gosh. Is that how it went? It feels longer ago. So 2019, Tiz and I started making it in August. Then it got accepted. It's even got to the stage where Inside the Box liked it, and we were all set to go to festival. We were super excited about it, and then it got cancelled because of the pandemic. So yeah, 13th to 18th of April. Thank you very much. Oh, it's quite a bit off. Okay, so yeah, I remember that in 2020, and so 13th to 18th means that it is Thursday to Tuesday. Is that correct? Festival. It is now in my public diary. So if other people want to see stuff by bez.com/streams, all the things that I am possibly going to, or the streams that I have, then check that out. Yeah, I remember Aircon 2020, we were doing the elbow dance and we weren't shaking hands, and that felt okay. But then it was when on Friday festival got cancelled, and that was what brought it home to say this is actually a very real thing. So yes, I'll get my passport. I mean, they last for a number of years, so yeah, that won't be an issue. So yeah, hopefully it's in my calendar. I'm planning to now go to it. Next question. And again, like, feel free to ask questions along the way, in case that's not obvious. That's the end of the Twitter questions. And I've got a few comments and replies from Facebook, from the Small Batch Game Publishers group. So Eric Street, just random props. Well, I say random, saying thank you for sharing the work and successes with us, which is a really lovely thing. And I want to say that no matter whatever you have made, be proud of what you have done, because I've been doing this since summer 2014. This has been my only focus, working in board games. I'm very privileged. I don't have someone that depends on me. I don't have children. I don't have pets to take care of. I don't have a parent that I'm caring for, and I don't have another full-time, or every job that I've had since the end of 2014 has been in the board game industry. doing development work for people, doing occasional art or painting on commission, doing bits of consultation, and a bit of a good amount of royalty payments from Yogi, which is again something that I'm really grateful for. So if you've been able to do one game in the past year, don't compare yourself to me. I just want to make that clear. Robert says, likewise, I'm making the list of cons. I will be making a decision about Kcon after Tabletop Scotland, have to work out finance and other dull adult things. I would heartily recommend Kcon. In case you don't know, I am friends with Kel Eckley, and I would encourage you all to check out Kcon 2022. Kcon 2023 will probably be my last convention in the UK for quite a while. I might come back once a year for UK Games Expo, but even that, who am I kidding? I'll try and come back once a year, probably. But yes, that will basically, we will be teaming together, and Kel will let me 2023 sort of make a few tweaks, and it will be essentially hosting my leaving do, and it will be a bit more beds than normal. But yes, do come this year because it's always a lovely time. It's always about the people. And next question from Dustin Dade said, "Oh, this is a okay. Wow. Let me try and copy paste this all. And you have an amazing drive to design games. Truly an unknown ability to me. What is your secret to stay inspired and motivated in designing? Do you set aside specific times or a schedule? Or is it just inspiration that drives more inspiration for you?" I think there's a car alarm going on outside. I don't know if you can hear it. But yeah, firstly, thank you very much. And yes, I love games. All my life, I've loved games. My first memory is of a video game, and actually, I'll just leave that there because I'm answering this question. My first memory is of a video game. I used to draw maps of video game levels that would sadly never come to be. I eventually learned to program just as a way to make some ideas come to fruition. I got a chance to work with people as part of Newgrounds back in the day when Flash was a thing, and then I think it was originally Macromedia, which was then bought by Adobe, and then they said, okay, we're no longer going to support it on browsers. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of games that no longer work, but one of them, Exorbis 2. Exorbis, the original, was made by someone and designed by them, and then we would have these meetups like Newgrounds. It wasn't just a place where you would put up your games or animations and into the void and that's it. It would also be about other people commenting on your stuff and then following you and giving you these reviews. And I say reviews, but they were far more like reviews than it was kind of like Board Game Geek comments plus, I guess, where it was people did express what they liked and generally what they didn't like and gave you an idea of what they thought. It wasn't just a bit of chats, and it felt incredibly validating to put something up, and even if people didn't like it, it was like, wow, people are paying attention to me. I made an animation and it wasn't very good, but people replied to it. People said something. And so that encouraged me to do more and more. And I guess it's the attention that gets me doing stuff, because even before that, as I said, I would imagine games. And why is my computer so low? It's on 5%. Hopefully, let me see if I can force quit some things, because doesn't seem to be charging properly. That's not great. But see, it's got this symbol that it's charging, but it's still going down. I might have to restart this computer possibly if it goes down anymore, because it's now on 3%. But yes, Dustin, what inspires me? Firstly, I love games. I've always been. Oh, phew. Oh my gosh. The crisis is averted. It's now gone up from. No, it's at 4%. Okay. Let's see if it goes back up to 5%. Okay. If I suddenly vanish, then yes, you know why. It's all about. Yeah, this is the ridiculous thing. Let me, I must. Yeah, I have noticed that there is a memory leak with Firefox sometimes recently, which then overheats the computer, which is not great. Wondering if I can actually. Hello, Timmy. It is lovely to see you. And let me actually take a quick interim. I am going to um, go on to StreamYard in another browser and close down Firefox just because I think that oh no, we're all good. It's up to 5%. I don't need to do anything. Okay. Sorry about that wee minor crisis. Anyway, let's get this question back up. Staying inspired. Firstly, I don't know if I do stay inspired. There is an assumption here. So that am I staying inspired? No, I'm not. I'm inspired generally, but there are times when I'm feeling really low, when I can't do anything, when I just have no energy, and the truth is that I think that sometimes I really miss having someone just tell me what to do, to say, hey, this is you're on the right path. And there is something really nice about the simplicity and the clarity that comes about when I was working retail, or when I was preparing food in exchange for money, or when I was, that's the bulk of what my uninteresting work was doing, either selling people food or other items in shops, or cutting up and preparing food, or serving people food in restaurants. That's the bulk of the work that I've done, other than the games industry stuff. But yeah, back then it was like, this is what I've got to do, and even if I'm tired, I'm still able to do it. But nowadays it's like, if I'm tired, sometimes I'm just like, I really, really struggle. I like there are days when I just struggle to get out of bed. But again, I do acknowledge that I am immensely privileged. This is my life. I am doing this full time. So when I have the energy, I am able to apply that energy to making games. That's the reason why this year, what's the games that by the end of this weekend, I will have officially released a game about quickly grabbing creatures that are totally different and counting your beetroots, which was the follow-up to the turnip version, and the radish version, which is the complicated ones. I'll have a game about counting cats' shapes and colors that keeps getting trickier. Hello, I assume this is Adam. That actually came out at the Mega May event for the Herefordshire board gamers, which I think are now rebranded as Here for Games, which you can check out here for .games. But I had a game about quickly matching words to pictures, but never words to words or pictures to pictures. That came out at a Norwich thing, Daisini. At Aircon, I had a game about drawing creatures, complementing the drawings and complementing the complements. At UK Games Expo, I had a game about stuffing balloons as a team, but it's a card game, there are no actual balloons. I'm fairly sure I'm missing one. There is one that I'm... Oh, there was also a game about cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises, but if we're just counting the totally new things that and that's not even counting the free things that I did, like the LDEC games, the Growbot Smash, which was a free game that I gave away. And now I'm going to have done a game about selecting 7 cards, speedily searching for synergy. So I've done like 5 completely new games that I sold for money. One completely new game that I gave away for free one completely new game that it's not properly done, but it's good enough that a major company is sitting on it and they really want to. But again, to answer this question, and hello Tanya, thank you for joining me. This is a big question, Dustin. How do I stay motivated? Outside influence. That's the biggest way that I can. Outside influence, outside help. People who are helping me finish off the graphic design, that motivates me. People who are excited for a game. People who say, oh, wow, you've done this game. I'm excited for it. People who support me or tell me that they're enjoying my things. That motivates me to do more. That makes it feel worth doing. Going to conventions and seeing people enjoy my things, that makes it worth doing. So yes, I guess it is a lot of outside pressure. In terms of, do I set aside time or a schedule? Not really. Anytime that I get to do design feels like a treat. Nowadays, honestly, the shipping, the mailing out the stuff, that feels like it takes a lot more energy. And I do set aside time on Fridays to do playtesting. I try to set aside other times occasionally to do playtesting, but it's not just inspiration drives more inspiration, but it is, as I do more, I learn more and I become better at making the games, but it's mainly all about outside influence. People appreciating the games makes me think, oh, I've managed to bring about joy. I would love to bring about more joy. And so, Tanya, I'll get to your question in just a moment. Here, Herefordshire board gamers. What parts of being in the gaming community brings you the most pleasure? And you're an amazing asset, and I know we appreciate the support. Thank you very much. I appreciate the comment. It's really nice to have you here. I appreciate the question, and I appreciate that all that you are doing as well, bringing people together. I think that the thing that brings me the most pleasure is witnessing pleasure. That's going to sound weird, but yeah, I'm not okay right now. Like, it feels like a weird thing to say that publicly to anyone who wants to yeah, listen to me right now, but I am really not okay. I am struggling to find joy in things, and I am feeling generally really down. And I went to a theatrical production with friends on Saturday. It was fantastic, and I loved hearing the laughter. And even though I wasn't laughing, I enjoyed like hearing that, there was a joke and then everyone laughed at it, and I looked around and people were smiling, and like seeing people enjoy themselves. Now, whether that's from someone else's game, okay, that's nice. It's nice to see other people enjoying themselves. But when it's from my game, or whether it's from something that I've taught, or whether it's from something that I've helped bring about or facilitated, that's an amazing sense of validation. And I'm sure that as convention organizers, any game designer, anyone who's ever taught a game will have some of that feeling, saying, yeah, people are now having fun, people are enjoying themselves. And I helped bring this about. I helped teach this game. I helped, or potentially even make this game. I helped bring these people together. And that is an amazing validation. Thank you very much, Tanya. I do really appreciate that. And Robert, commenting on my previous answer, says, this is exactly why I seek a publisher for my games. I don't think I'd enjoy any of the publishing posting side. Yeah, honestly, it's a bit of a pain. I would much rather have someone take over all of it for me, but it allows me to get stuff out there, and it allows me to get stuff to people. So it's kind of easier and a quicker way to do it than going through the whole pitching process, because yeah, people are slow to publish stuff. I mean, if by the time I've made a prototype, I mean, if I've made a prototype of nice graphics, that means that I've basically made a game that people are happy to buy. And so if I spend like a day doing nicer graphics, then I can just take it to a convention. Now, the convention sales, I really enjoy that. It's easy, people come along, I see the joy on their faces. That is so much fun, and I would recommend it to anyone. If I was going to make one major change to my business over the next couple of years, worst case scenario, I might become a convention sales only company. If I can't find someone, yeah, like especially when I emigrate, if no one else is going to take over posting stuff for me, then it won't be there. But yeah, I get the speed thing. My number station game isn't coming out till late 2024, says Robert, but it's not my income, so it can wait. It's not about the income. I am not a patient person, and I struggle to take joy in something that's going to come out in the future. And yeah, it's like, if it's, yeah, probably, the more I read about ADHD, I probably do have that kind of short-sightedness, temporal short-sightedness. And it says, hello, it's like Bez is on at approximately the same time every day. So weird. Hello, Xate. This is an Ask Me thing. Bones says, interesting idea on only selling to conventions, possibly also to locals. No, because I would be coming to conventions. I mean, locals, how would I do that? I don't see an easy way to do that, unless you mean, yeah, a convention is like a market. I mean, a market, sure, I'm there, and then people come and they buy the things, but it's the postage. It's the putting things through Royal Mail. I kind of enjoy still the doodling on the envelope, but the actual printing it out and then getting the stuff and putting it in, it's a really small task, but sometimes it just feels like a struggle. Tanya wanted to know, what are my favorite RPGs and what are my favorite tabletop RPGs that I've played. Okay, so favorite tabletop RPGs that I've played. I mean, Fiascos brought me a lot of joy. I'm not great at remembering names of everything. Even with a game that I played like 10 something that I've played 10 times, I might forget the name of it. But I'm going to, yeah, can I just say Fiasco and admit that I'm struggling to remember the name of anything else right now? I played one about one person is a witch, and then you have this march up and then go up, and you spend so many days together fictionally, and then at the end you decide to burn this person or not burn this person. I mean, yeah, the truth is that when I think back to the stuff that I played, like, yeah, I played Rollmaster, I played Call of Cthulhu, I played Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't consider those systems as something that brought me a massive amount. Out of those ones, definitely Call of Cthulhu is the one that I had the most joy with. Oh, that's the one, which the Road to Lindis fame. I like that I know these things. Also, I played one which was part of, I want to say, the Feminism Anthology by Pelgrane Press, which is about people in jail, and then multiple people played the same person. And also, I played a game about sending messages. But I'm going to go with Fiasco. If I was like, okay, let's play some storytelling game, I would go like, yeah. Oh, Monster Hearts. Monster Hearts was good, but it feels like, Monster Hearts is actually about the amount of rules that I would enjoy. I like that you don't have to learn a lot before coming to the game. I like coming to a game, whether it's a board game or an RPG or a LARP, whatever, or a sport, where ideally you can just get taught the rules before the game, and that's kind of agreed upon, that's accepted, and that you don't have to do the homework and then spend half an hour learning this big meaty game ahead of time. Sure, I'm okay with, learning strategy, and okay, you develop skill at table tennis. I'm not never going to be able to play table tennis as well as someone else, but I want to be able to understand it. I don't want to have to feel like I have to read an entire 100-page book or 300-page book, player's guide, as a precursor. It feels like a big accessibility barrier. And so, yeah, I really like those rule lights things. Yeah, I'm going to go with Fiasco for now. Xate has a question. What did your favorite outfit look like before you started dressing in almost all red? And how long ago was that? Okay, I'm going to answer the second question first. The second question, I guess, at a certain point, I went to a shop, I got a bunch of cheap clothes, and I started wearing red. UK Games Expo 2015. That's when I had to give away, well, I say give away, when I had to give copies of Innerbind to people who'd already paid for it. And I was saying, hey, it's a bit late, but find me at UK Games Expo and I will give it to you. And people who want to buy it normally, I'll not release it until 1st of August. That gives me enough time to hopefully send it, and wherever you are in the world, you will get it before people are able to buy it in shops. And then after UK Games Expo, a couple of people got to know me as someone who wears red, and I was like, wow, people are hearing that there's someone wearing a lot of red. This is cool. Maybe I should do more of this. And so when it was time to consider going to Essen 2015, which I never managed to get to, I started buying a lot of red clothes. And I would say that that was a time when I decided, yes, I'm going to wear red at all the conventions. And then it became easier to just wear red basically all the time. And I would say that, yeah, not all my wardrobe is red, but yeah, most of my visible wardrobe is red. And yeah, it became an increasing thing where it was just easier to do that. My favorite outfit, I don't think I really had a favorite outfit. I'm not sure I can pick a favorite outfit right now. I remember that when I first went to Spangled Cabaret, I bought a black skirt and pair of tights, and I felt a lot more comfortable wearing that. And yeah, that became something that I allowed myself to wear whenever I was performing music, not at an open mic night, but if I had like a 10 minutes or 20 minutes, dedicated slot where like, yeah, Bez is playing at this thing, then yeah, I would wear that, and I wore different things up top. I still don't really have a favorite outfit. I guess right now, maybe I really like my red skirts with the black trim and the white trim around it. That's something that I enjoy wearing at least one of the days. Well, I try to wear a different thing each day. I don't really have a favorite outfit, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, keep coming with the live questions if you want. There's only one more thing, which isn't exactly a question, but it's a suggestion, and so I'm going to treat it like a question. So Catherine Dreyer says, you should consider doing a collector's edition with physical copies of all your games in a special box, I would definitely back that. And so the implied question is, why aren't you doing that? I mean, it's kind of like the big box of roots. Like, I know that later games, Patrick later said, yeah, once we do a big box of roots, that's kind of like saying, okay, roots is dead. And yeah, I want to keep doing my busy bargain bags. If I'm away in Thailand, I want to be able to say, yeah, there's 3, 4, there's going to be more. 3 is probably a decent number, because 4, I wouldn't be able to celebrate them all as much, maybe, I don't know. But I want to release at least another couple of busy bargain bags every time I go to UK Games Expo, and be like, yeah, it's an experiment. I'll print 100 copies, and that will probably sell out. And so if I make a special box to contain all of them, then it's kind of like, I'm not going to have any more, and that feels a bit sad. The other reason that I don't want to do it is because it would cost a lot of money to post. So if I look at, let's imagine that this is 54 cards. I've not counted that, but let's imagine that this is 60 cards. I can get 61 cards through the post, which means, excitingly, that I could put those 54 cards in a small FinTuck box. But I do apologize. Give me just one moment. If you look at this box, because it is slightly bigger than it needs to be, so it's literally about 2 millimeters bigger than it needs to be. And that extra thickness adds, okay, within the UK, it adds about £1.20 of postage. Internationally, it might cost £4 or £5 to send one. Like, even if I send 4, which were this thick, then I would be able to send 4 of those small packages, for like maybe £9. But as soon as it's slightly thicker, then it basically doubles the price. And that's the reason why I wouldn't want to do it unless absolutely necessary. I know that some people are happy to pay the postage, but just most of that money is going to Royal Mail or other companies that Royal Mail is, contracting. And I would, it's also hassle. Like, if a lot of people really want it, then but it's also like, do I get joy from making it? Like, if I make a new game, people are playing my new game, I feel rewarded, I feel happy. And sure, I would feel really chuffed if people were, okay, I'm buying like this big box with all the stuff, but it's not bringing anything really new into the world. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, one day I will have to sell a big box, because we will have a game where a new bladder, Scottish word meaning to talk at length, fast rate without necessarily making very much sense. Blah, 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 blah. Hello, Hans. I assume that your name is Hans. Thank you very much. I have arranged my appointment to get a new passport. I have the form here, which I have to fill in over the next few days. And I have a friend who's at Tabletop Scotland on the weekend who is going to sign my passport, because you need someone to say, yes, this is definitely this person. So yeah, I'm hoping that my passport gets sorted out. I will be traveling with Alan and Charlie from Surprise Terror Games. Like, everything is just really weird, to the point where they're saying, yeah, for the first time ever, let's possibly not drive and let's actually get the train, because it might be slightly cheaper, and then we don't have to deal with I think it's called the cartouche, which is a declaration of goods that you bring in and take out. So that's going to be challenging. Essen, I will be there. fingers crossed, I will be there taking some time to go to other publishers, arranging meetings, fingers crossed. I will possibly have some time at the Surprise Star game stand if they have a prototype of my forthcoming game, fingers crossed, and I will be at the Simplicatus Games, the Nordic game stand, if they have copies of a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises. I will be there to show it off and to run a couple of special events, I guess. It will be interesting. Yeah, we talked about having daily 2 p.m. events, and my concern is that when I normally do 2 p.m. events, each day they're for a different game. But again, because of the whole Brexit ordeal, we are not allowed to take games from here into Europe and sell them without major cost. And so I can't take, yeah, I guess I could take other stuff that people can't buy, but that feels really weird. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should ask Gigamic, like maybe one day could be at Simplicatus at 2 p.m, one day could be at Surprise Star Games at 2 p.m, one day could be at the Gigamic stand at 2 p.m, assuming they want me to go there to run a 2 p.m. event, which, like, if they don't, then that's a really bad sign. But yes, that would be quite fun. I should actually try and organize that. But thank you, and I look forward to seeing you, and I hope that you're generally well. So yes, if anyone has any more questions, then get them into the chat like in the next few seconds, because time is running out and it's almost been an hour, so time for me to wrap up. This has been really enjoyable. Thank you everyone who's been here. It's been a delight. Thank you to everyone who asked respectful questions on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and or while we're live. If you watch this video after the fact and you want to ask me a follow-up question, then feel free to chuck that in, and once I get enough questions, I will do another Ask Me Anything. So thank you all, and here's my question to you. Question of the day, question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. So my question to you is, do you have a favorite outfit? Because the question from Say got me thinking, like, yeah, I don't really have a favorite outfit right now. Like, one of my favorite dresses, I do have a almost favorite dress, but I wouldn't wear it at a convention because it was meant to be red, but it's a bit more burgundy. Yeah, it's like quite far away. I'm not going to bring it over. It's like kind of a, yeah, you know what burgundy looks like. It's just a little bit darker, and so it's like not quite the bright red that I really want at my stand. But that became a dress that's, I'm like, yeah, I'll keep this. I really like the cuts of it. I really like the finish and the kind of flowing sleeves and everything. And this is kind of like a potential evening dress, or if I'm going out or something. But even that, I can't say it's my favorite outfit, and I don't have like something that I would specifically wear with that dress. And even like, I've got like even the red skirt, which is all flowing and it's got the black and white. Like, I don't have something specific I would wear with that. I would just, yeah, decide when I'm packing for the convention. So do you have a favorite outfit? Do you actually have set outfits where you say, I always wear this and this and this together as an outfit? Do you even do that? I'm curious. So Robert says, have a good day. Hope to see you in Perth when I'm not playtesting. Thank you very much. And also, my outfits are all the same. I have several pairs of identical trousers. These seem to no longer be available, and I'm not sure how to deal with this change. Oh my gosh. I did not know about that about you. I guess maybe because your trousers are, I mean, are they black? Are they dark grey? I can't even remember. Because, or are they I guess like all of these things, they aren't bright colours, so I don't particularly remember them, so I do apologise. Jay Foolsguard says, I have olive green shorts I really like. So yeah, again, it's an item of clothing, but you don't have an outfit that you really like. Correct? And Robert says it was the same black pair from Primark. Okay, well, thank you for that information. If anyone does have a favourite outfit, I would be curious to hear. Generally, over to you. What are you up to? You can share a button if you want to. What are you up to today? What are you doing? What are your priorities? What do you have to get done? Personally, what I really have to get done is just post a whole bunch of stuff. I've not posted stuff for a few weeks. It's really not great. And yeah, there's one shop that I really wanted to give like some free stuff to, but yeah, it's just, yeah, sometimes I just struggle to get stuff done. But that's going to be me. If I get the stuff posted, I'll feel good about it. But I am also going to allow myself a walk to see the ducks. I'm going to walk, check out the ducks, come back, maybe listen to a bit of music. I'm going to do all the posting. I'm going to do all the packing, the printing out of the stuff, put them onto the envelopes, make sure the envelopes are pretty enough to be sent. And then, yeah, if I've got, I will allow myself to also make a meal. I'm going to make maybe some prawns and something. I don't know. And I've got some chocolate milk drinks that I'm going to finish drinking. But anyway, what are you up to? And Jay Foolsguard says, yes, that's correct. I do have a favourite. Oh, it's an olive green shirt, not shorts. And it's just one item of clothing. Ian says it's a steampunk audition today. I hope that it's a fantastic time. Roberts is off to see Darren Brown. Wow. I love Darren Brown stuff. Did you see the one about pushing people off a ledge? That was really interesting. Like how people can be motivated to actually commit murder. And, you know, the person that they are, like it's set up so that they don't actually murder the person. It's just that they're being pressured to murder this person. And it's like a scary thing into how people can be manipulated. And it's really scary to think that even if you don't think you can be manipulated, and maybe even if you don't think you can be, maybe you can be, like all the other people around you, like how easily they can be manipulated and how mobs and cults can start. And, you know, that's how hatred starts. But yeah, Darren Brown, really thought-provoking magician there. Illusionist, deceptionist, I don't know what to call them. Oh, lovely. Is that Sally Jones of the Crafting Jones? I'm looking forward to seeing Sally. And Robert says, I've not seen that one. I saw the assassination of Stephen Fry once. I saw him in Leeds twice before. He is always so good in person. I've not seen him in person, but I've seen the recordings. But yeah, I'm a big fan. Jay Foolsguard, all the best with making that prototype testable. And yeah, doing the laundry. Oof. Yeah, just folding and hanging up. I mean, gosh, I hate doing that stuff. But I managed to hang up all my stuff yesterday, so congratulations to me. So let's recap and wrap up before we finish up. So we had a whole bunch of questions that were being asked today. And yeah, thank you very much for all the questions. We had Dave Dawkins. Have you ever considered employing other artists to work on your games? To which I say, I considered it, and I probably wouldn't do it unless there was something they could bring, or which for the L deck there absolutely is, because I want there to be variety and diversity within the L deck. So if you're a typographer, if you're an artist and you want to work with me, I think like 10% royalties feels reasonable, and also give you some upfront money. But yeah, if you like typography, then please get in touch. And yeah, what would I like to do most that I don't have enough time for? Just space to think about that question. Am I going to festival? Yes, I am now. because I found out the date. What's my secret? Am I staying inspired and motivated? No, I'm not always. But my secret, if I do have a secret, is other people. So I set aside specific times. No, I don't. Which parts of being in the gaming community brings me the most joy? It's being able to facilitate joy. Favorite tabletop RPGs? I am going to go with Fiasco. What did my favorite outfit look like? I don't have a favorite outfit. I don't, and based on a random poll, it seems like people in general don't have favorite outfits. And I think that was all the questions. Oh, there was a question about me doing a collector's edition with physical copies of all the game in a special box. No, because of size, and also because I'm not bringing anything new into the world. It feels less exciting. Oh, and we had other questions. Would I prefer to remain in the world if balloon animals or extravagant hats were eliminated? And I'm going to say extravagant hats probably bring a little bit less joy day to day to people. Because how many people actually touch and use the extravagant hats, whereas the balloon animals, I feel like they bring more joy. But yeah, that is all of the stuff. Thank you very much. If you want to check me out, I am Stuff by Bez in all of the places. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, stuffbybez.com, stuffbybez.bigcartel.com. Search on Facebook, stuffbybez.com/streams if you want to find out my future streams. Tomorrow will be a very quick show before I get on the train. Friday will be a show as I wander around Perth. And Saturday, Sunday will be a very quick show from within the convention. And yeah, of course, then Monday I'm going to do a recap or a debrief. And thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you once more for all the questions. And I guess I should do a quick read. Let's see who is streaming. And does anyone have any quick things to say before the bye? What is it? See you Saturday. Yes, unless you're there on Friday, because Friday would also be a potential thing. Let us check out the Pandemonium Institute, who are doing Blood on the Clock Tower. Please do copy paste part or all of the raid message, and for now the only thing left to say is lots of love and bye 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye everyone. Have a wonderful day. Remember to say hello and make a splash. Oh, you have nowhere to stay Friday. I can't offer you a place to stay. Sorry, Ian. But lots of love and bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.